Hey ladies and gents, we're back again in Season 12 of Hearthstone. We're continuing on today with Lifecoach's Mech Warrior. We're at rank 17, 3 stars is where we started and left off last time. We had 1 win, 1 loss. I played 1 practice game with this, but then I realized I'm fulfilling the quest objectives with playing in the casual mode, which I was doing just to practice with the Mech Warrior deck. And I don't want to complete the quest like that, so we're just going to jump back into ranked mode here and try to get a few wins out. I think I understand the deck's synergies enough to be fairly competitive at rank 17, but we'll see. I don't know what the matchup is like, so like if this were a control priest, say, I don't know if we have an advantage over that or what, but I just don't know the deck well enough at this point, but we'll see. I can keep track of stats as I go. So far we played a mirror match, which we barely snuck out, and we played a mech rogue, which we got beat by in a very short order. I played a mech mage in the casual mode and won fairly easily. Pretty slow start here, and quite unfortunate because I think this deck is intended to make a bit of a jump out of the gate. But as we've seen in the last games we played, the deck doesn't draw very well as far as the starting turn is concerned. It's very difficult to draw early game, it seems, and that can have a big impact on where you're going to be in mid game. Here the play is definitely the Berserker because we don't have a mech out for the Tinkertown just yet. Okay, well, it was a 1-for-1 trade, which is not typically any good, but we have either the Corcoran Elite or a Piloted Shredder, and because the Piloted Shredder is a bit stickier to the board, I think that'll be the play. It also activates, if it sticks, we can play the Tinkertown Technician next turn, or we can play a very powerful play and play the Screwjank Clunker. So he's under the gun right now to get this off the board as fast as possible. He may not realize it at this point, but he does need to get it off of there. Is he going to circle this guy? Nope. Okay. We can still kill that with the Screwjank buff.
Defensive systems online.
And it'll be a 2-for-1 here. We have to put the Light Warden into it next turn. Always good to get a 2-for-1. Even though he kind of got this guy for free, it's still a 2-for-1. Hopefully he didn't get the weapon, because that would change things here quite drastically. So the Piloted Shredder actually ended up getting 3-for-1. A couple options here, few options actually. We could play the Tinkertown, which would leave us 3 mana and it's kind of awkward. We could play the Screwjank onto the Screwjank, which is a pretty good play because it's got, it would then have 7 health, which is going to be very hard to remove from the board. Or we could play our Sky Golem, but I think I want to try to get the Light Warden off the board. And the best way to do that is to buff the Screwjank. And also armor up here. Well, he blanked on his turn. So I think the play here is to leave the Sky Golems in hand. We'll play the Corcoran Elite and the Tinkertown. There is a possibility that we'll get Auchenai circled, but we still have fairly strong cards in hand to recover from that if that happens. And this is going to be a significant amount of damage.
Defensive systems online.
We have enough here to play the Anoitron and a Sky Golem, which is, I think, the best play over playing a Death's Bite. And so the choice is, do we want to start trying to make trades here, or do we want to go face? If we go face, we've got 8, 10, 14 damage. I think we go face. It's putting him down very, very low. I don't know that he'll be able to recover from that, given our board presence.
Let me change your mind.
So all we need to do is maintain 2 damage on the board. And then we can play, well, no, that's not true. We'd need 2 characters on the board and 2 damage, which we will do. So we have to get through the Noyatron, and we will find some low attack guys. So if we get through Screwjank to pop Corcoran to take out, then we're still at 10. So we could do this either way, it doesn't matter. Fairly easy win against that deck. I'm not sure what his composition was. It was a little unorthodox for a control priest.
Versus Alfurion.
I must protect the one. Victory or death!
So again, another hard opening draw here. We did get a Mech Warper, which is great. The Sneeds and Sky Golem have to go back, obviously. First time we saw the Sneeds in any of the games we've played. Much, much better draw here. He's got a hero ability. Nope. Okay. Oh, he's still going to. Zombie Chow. Control Druid. Just to make sure that the Zombie Chow doesn't get a lot of value right off the bat, I think we might precede our Mech Warper with the Anoitron. So if we play the Anoitron, his likely play is Hero Power to break the bubble, and then Zombie Chow into the Anoitron for the kill. And that leaves us with the next turn of likely Mech Warper and something else. Maybe we'll draw another 2-cost to get in. But I don't mind that play. It eats up his turn dealing with the Anoitron. So now we can make a fairly good trade of the Clockwork Gnome into the Zombie Chow. And I'm not sure that I want to play the Mech Warper on this turn because he might take his Shade out of stealth to kill that. I would if I was in his position. So I think the Armor Smith is the play here.
Made to
He'll have to decide now whether the Shade is ready to come out of stealth or not. Some guys will bring it out at 3 or 4, other guys will wait until it's at about 6. Looks like he's bringing it out. If I draw a weapon, that was, I think, a mistake on his part to bring it out. The Armor Smith wasn't that big of a threat at that point, and now he's exposed his Shade to a potential weapon, which I didn't get, but I think I'd be willing to trade in the Shredder here with it, so I'll play that out. So he's gotten good value out of his Shade. And I've gotten a severe disadvantage as a result of it, but that's how it goes sometimes. So in this instance, we could play all of these guys out. And we may do that. So we play Mech Warper, Clockwork, and Spider Tank. That gives us a lot of targets. The Shade can take 1. His hero ability could take the Clockwork Gnome, so that'll leave us the Spider Tank. And I think I'm okay with that.
Powering up. Portals online.
So his Shade is likely to attack into the Mech Warper. I don't know that there's any reason to give a minion +1 attack here. We could still do that later on. I was thinking of putting it on the Spider Tank since that's the one that's likely to survive, but that might motivate him to take the Spider Tank, which might not be a bad thing for me if you were to do that and leave the Warper, because then this guy could come out a turn earlier. No, I'm going to save it for now. I think that's the better play. Yeah, no, it may have been the better play to put it on the Mech Warper, just because now he's got a free trade into this, behind a Belcher as well. Oh, that's a mistake in my mind. That's a big mistake. Put that up to 2 just to keep it out of range of the hero ability. He's gonna trade the Shade into the Sky Golem anyway. What has he got for the Sky Golem then? Oh, interesting. Well, it's not going to work out well for him. He did inadvertently prevent my Sneeds from coming out this turn. But we have some options here. So we could boost the Sky Golem enough to take the Shade. We could screwjank this guy to take out the Ancient. Unfortunately, he dies too, but we still have board presence after that. So I think that's likely the best play. I'm surprised we have not drawn any weapons yet, which would have been ideal.
Defensive systems online.
We're at a card disadvantage. We do have board presence or board control, though it's not very strong board control, unfortunately, but we do have a Sneeds coming out next turn. He may have a Naturalize in this deck. It seems like a deck that would run a Naturalize. We could try to bait out removal with the Sky Golem, but unfortunately it dies to the Ancient. Even though it's a straight trade, I don't think that's the right play. So we'll play the Sneeds here and take the chance that he doesn't have removal. There's no good trades to be made here, so we're just going to go face.
Job done. Where shall I strike?
Okay, that was the draw that I needed here. It's still not a very good trade, obviously, because I'm going to have to put the keeper in there as well, but I do want to get this guy down.
Feel nature's wrath.
Neither one of these can take this out by itself, so you have to think if I attack one, it will get a 2-for-1, likely. That might not be bad because we're gonna get another legendary out of this.
What now?
So I think what we'll do here is play into the Ancient, and that'll allow him to trade his Shredder in next turn. But we will get a spawn out of this. It's important not to be too aggressive in a situation like that, because if he had some hard removal, we could be in a position where we don't have any board presence whatsoever. So it's while you can take out the board control that he might keep. So he'll take 5 on the face, and hopefully we get a good legendary, maybe Gazarilla or something. Antonitis. Could be good. Could be bad. Well, he might take it out this turn too, though. So it's completely neutral. We didn't get to do anything with it.
I have no time for games.
Nox is
Sylvanas is a difficult one to play around in these instances because she can kill here and die and end up taking the piloted Shredder with her. The alternative move is that I trade in here. This is obviously going to trade down, and then I kill with that. This trades down. I could play out the Warbot in the meantime. Maybe she'll steal the Warbot, or the other option is I just go face. If I go face, she kills here next turn and steals the Shredder, and whatever I might get out of this, well, she could take that too. I play the Warbot just to have another target on the board. I'd go in for face for 10, that takes him down to 11. That might be greedy, but the play around Sylvanas here is not easy anyway, so I'm just going face with it. Get the damage in while I can. Well, it was unlucky for me. I mean, it could have easily been the Warbot, which would have been a kind of a bad trade. He might put the Shade into the Shredder here.
Be thirsty.
Okay, I think we take out the Brewmaster while we can. That'll pump up the Berserker. And likely it'll get taken out by the Shade next turn, and we'll have whatever's left over here. We're in a bad place in this game right now. He's got card advantage on us, and I don't know that we'll be able to recover board position. That's not a bad spawn to come out of that. Now the Shade trades and we still get to keep that. If we can get a Corker on Elite or something, then we can do some fairly good damage off of the totem. His card draw is just going to outpace me, and I'll slowly start losing board control. Well, it wasn't horrible. As far as slowing the pace down until we can pull something useful, that was probably the best draw we could have.
I must safeguard the land. Where shall I strike?
Oh, this is game over. So this game, how did we lose? Analyze how we lost. We lost because of card draw. We played what we had and it wasn't good enough to get through the Druid taunts. There was the one turn where he played the Druid of the Wild, and we had to use Arcanite Reaper and a second character to get through it. I think that was probably the turning point of the game. Oh well, win some, you lose some, guys. We won one, lost one. We're still up a rank from where we started, so no big deal. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.